Hello everyone and welcome to part 2. As you can see, Zealous has his immortal forces up. Check production. Grabbing some Zerglings. He's building a second immortal, but considering how many roaches he saw, it's fairly reasonable. As you can see, Zealous has managed to transfer and saturate this natural fairly quickly. And because of the attack that he had made, I had lost my queen. I have to rebuild it. I lost the few drones that I did have mining. Remember that at the time of the attack, Zealous had just thrown down this nexus, and my natural was already up and operational. So I could say that that attack was very, very, very successful. I mean, when you think about it. He managed to set me back and gain pretty much all of the macro advantage that I had had, and possibly even set me back a little bit further than him, because he did manage to saturate faster, and he has his second assimilator up. I don't think I lost my first assimilator, but I definitely lost the guys mining it. And in any event, I still have not built my third. Let's see. Looking at the resources tab, fairly even in terms of food. He just pulled ahead a little, but, you know, I'm Zerg, so I can pull ahead a lot. Begun my +1 range upgrade. Beginning to be mined out here, so I should be thinking of a third at this point. But I'm still trying to saturate this, puking out as much larva as I can. Come on, any minute now. Come on. You can do it. Alright, what am I doing? Alright, there we go. Zealous, on the other hand, has built up a fairly decent-sized force. It looks like he's intent on teching up to a robotic support bay at this point. Building up an observer, but I do have a changeling amongst his forces, thanks to this overseer. And oh, that's interesting. Seems observers cannot tell apart a changeling. I thought they could. As you can see in production, I've begun using my infestation pit, upgrading neural parasite and building a few infestors. Range upgrade is going down, burrow is going down. Hive attack is being researched. On the other hand, Zealous is looking into Colossuses and a few more immortals and upgrading his +1 attack. Knocking down my rocks and attempting to spread my creep behind this very, very annoying shrubbery that blocks sight. And if I can get good creep coverage here, I can see pretty much any forces that he's maneuvering around here. If he attacks, I can have an army just sitting back here waiting to ambush him, or if he pulls back, I could see him going back up this ramp, either heading back down here under the tower I control, or I can move my forces up this ramp and catch him here. Anyway, my third is going down. I'm down to about 100 food, up to 100 food, and once again we're still fairly even. I have a slight resource advantage, but you know how these things are. It could just be random noise. Yeah, checking income, it's mostly the same, with myself having a very, very slight harvester advantage. Back to production, I've switched over to Hydralisks thanks to this changeling spotting all these immortals. My hatchery is still going down. No real news on the research front. Both of us are just trying to build up our forces, keep our economy strong. Zealous having just picked off the overlord that I had kept here just in case I wanted to night us in, and breaking down his own rocks on his third, opting to go for the safer, easier to defend route as opposed to his own gold here. But that's understandable for him. I mean, he's Protoss, these immortals are not very fast. If he gets caught up here with the immortals, it's very, very easy for the Zerg to, like throw down a Nidus here and just pop in a bunch of speedlings and really, really ruin his day. So for him with these immortals and the Colossus, he can just sit his forces up here and And really, just a very, very short walk to get here. Biggest problem with this base, though, is that, one, I control this watchtower, so I'll be able to see him throwing anything up this route. And second of all, I'm literally right there. It's nothing for me to just walk down here and destroy this base if I have to. And since I want to win this game, I will have to. More Colossus coming up for Zealous. Researching +1 upgrades. I, on the other hand, I've gotten an Ultralist Den, getting my Cracklings, +1 attack, and building 3 Ultralisks. Puking my larva when possible. Another evolution chamber going down. My spire is up. Zealot legs building on his part, and I have some corruptors coming in. Probably spotted a Colossus with one of my changelings. Oof. Very, very large, very dangerous force coming out for Zealous, and food is still fairly even. He does have a very, very slight lead, and decent resource count. Oh, it looks like he's after the gold. This is going to be unfortunate, because with a ramp choke like this, when his forces are already in position, I really can't afford to just walk right in there and try to defend myself. So he's mostly just going to take this for free. I mean, I have to move my forces back in case he does walk down. Ideally, he would bring his Colossus out of position here, and I could just punish him for it, but Zealous is smarter than that and immediately pulls back. Knowing that because he has his own third already up and operational, he has the advantage over me now. Does he have an observer? He did have an observer in my base at one point. I don't know where it's gotten. Units. Observer. He does have an observer. I can't find it. In any event, because I had to do something with my gold going down, I moved down here to either attack his back door, but along the way I discovered this extra base. His Colossus come out, but they are incredibly out of position, because once again, they just bounce right up here while his forces have to take the very, very long way through his base. So we have a bit of a fight going on here. Fungal growth going down, the Ultralist getting in, Neuroparasites going down on his Colossus. 2 of his Colossus have been neuroparasited. They're actually getting a lot of free shots down on those Zealots, and I believe he was actually forced to target fire them himself. Another fungal growth going down, holding these Colossuses down. I've grabbed an Immortal at this point. Sniping everything off. I have the Corrupt up here, but the appears to be a few Stalkers target firing it. One more Colossus goes down, and there is a highly damaged Immortal in the mix. But Zealous has lost his base. I lost my base. And checking food, we're more or less even, with Zealous having very, very slight advantage. It really will come down to who can get that third base up and operational again faster. I've got a few more Corruptors. Looks like I'm adding on Hydralisks, upgrading sort of Ground Carapace and missile range. Zealous opting for more supply, fixing his base, and grabbing a few Colossus and Immortals. But those Immortals, of course, won't be very effective since I've now mostly switched off into Hydralisks, although I do still have a few Roaches here. I went to expand for a third up here, figuring it might be a little bit safer. Zealous was on top of that. I guess he might have saw the drone coming by, since I don't think I controlled this tower at this point in the game. Zealous just, jukes back and forth, manages to get this hatchery for free. Very, very unfortunate, because my debris was still up, so I couldn't just move up there and defend it. Zealous just sits up here, does not opt to attack, pulls back himself. And we'll use that point for the end of part 2 and the beginning of part 3. See you soon.